Hi, Pete. I'm going to show you pretty much exactly the routine that I use when I'm doing a content transfer and site update. We do a lot of these custom jobs where we take somebody's existing site, move it into a new template. Now, sometimes we get a copy of the site. Sometimes people don't have a copy and we have to go to the live site. So that's the scenario that I'll use. Right? So what I would do if I were you is I'd fire up a web browser and pull up your Orlando bass fishing site. Okay? And what we're going to do here is I want to take a look at the pages that you have in here so I can create the foundation. All right. And how I'm going to start is first thing I'm going to do is when we open the site is I'm going to take my index page here and I'm going to click on the preview in Firefox so that it's up beside the existing, sorry, it's up beside the old site. I can just switch between the two tabs. Okay. First thing I want to do is just go A1 Bass Fishing, sorry, A1 Bass Guide Service. I'm going to update the logo. To do that, I'm going to go to the library, to the logo right here, and just type in, do the right click on the existing logo, hyperlink properties, and type in I think it's number one Bass Fishing Service. Did I get that right? A1 Bass Guide Service. Yeah, I haven't. That's what happens when I cut coffee out. Okay, I'm going to update that. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to save. Just do a file save or Control S on the keyboard. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my live page here, switch it over, and just refresh to make sure all that text fits, and it does. Excellent. So that's sort of part number one. I just get the logo in there to make sure that it's updating. There's nothing wrong with the site setup, like when I first opened it. Okay, cool. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to follow through here and create all these pages. Home page is always going to be the index page. About Us, I'm going to look in the root folder. Already have an About page. Don't need to make it. Lakes, don't have a Lakes page. Now this is where the, what sort of layout is going to work best? I'm going to create a new page. I need a new page for lakes. And what I can do is I can either use one of the existing pages in here or one of the pages in the layouts folder. Kind of the easiest thing to do for me is, let me just preview the services page here. Yep, pretty basic page, just content in the middle. It's the secondary layout. We're going to have to change the font size for the logo now because I see that it runs into this over here. So let's do that first. Let's go and change the font size, and the font size for the text in the logo is located, in the library, in the logo, and open up the CSS. So library, logo, CSS, there's the logo CSS. Open it up and change the 60, let's make it 40, and save. You can also change the name of the font here at a later time if you want something that's a little more appropriate, which you may want to do that. But for now, we're just going to go back, refresh. Still too large. Let's change this to 35, save, go back, and you see why I keep the page open in a browser. I can just whip back and forth, and there we go. So the logo's a little bit smaller now, but it fits in with the page that has the pictures up here. And you may or may not want the pictures up here, but we'll use the services page now as an example. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close this down now, close down my index page. I'm going to double click on the services page, and I'm going to make a copy of it. Once I have it open, I'm just going to click on the File menu, select Save As, and right here where you see it's highlighted services, I'm going to type in lakes.html and click on Save. Now it's kind of important, and this is why I like to have the original site open. If I go to lakes, it's HTML. So that's what you want to do, is you want to save it as lakes HTML. Okay? So you can rename this to lakes.html at any time, like so, right? Or when you open up your services page and make your original copy, you go save as lakes.html. I already have one there, and we're good to go. Yeah. Okay, cancel that. Now, the reason we want to do HTML is because that's probably what you've been spidered for by the search engines. We want to keep the name of the page and the file extension the exact same, just to be safe. Okay. Photos. Photos.html. Right. We already have a photo gallery right here. So I'm going to suggest, and this is what I would do, is I go photos.html. Just rename it, just by typing in a new name of the page. Good. On to the next one. Rates. Rates HTML. And this is where I cheat. I just copy the name of the page from here. Services page, open again. File, save as. Paste in the rates.html and click save. There's my rates page right there. And contact us we have, and Captain Pete. There you are, you handsome devil, you. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, go back, and the cool thing is with the rates HTML open, I can actually just go File, Save As, Pete HTML, and click on Save. Now I've got Pete's page. Okay, so that is it. I've gone and created those pages that I see in your site, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and get rid of the pages we don't need. Privacy. I'm going to leave contact there in case, and all the contacts, but we don't need privacy, FAQs, services, and sitemap. We don't actually need those pages, so I'm just going to drag those up and into the layouts. You may want them at a later time, right? But for now, that's it. Okay, now that you have your pages created, that's sort of the foundation. We have all these pages here. Oh, sponsors, nuts, forgot one. So Pete is already open. So we'll just open up, click on sponsors. I'm just going to copy this right here. Pete's already open. I'm just going to go File, Save As, paste in sponsors.html, and click on Save. Now I've got a sponsors page. Cool. Now that I got all my pages in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the library page and update these links up here. Okay, I'm going to go to library. I'm going to go to the menu top, open up menu top HTML, and this is just a bullet list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the junk I don't need and just basically create a new list. So starting with the catalog page, just going to double click on catalog, and you see the LI tag here. So LI, click that to get rid of all the junk. Same thing here, LI, right? Components, LI. Layouts, LI, that's a list tag. LI is for list, right? So now we can go back here. So I need home, about, lakes, and photos, right? So I'll get rid of the contact. We already have a home. That's good. So I'm going to home, just type in the word about, hit enter. Contact, hit enter. Home, about, and photos, hit enter. So we're just going to type in a new list, right? Contact us, rates, oh, home, about, lakes, photos. Sorry. Home, about, lakes, photos, contact, rates, Captain Pete, sponsors. Contact, enter. Oh, I forgot already. Rates, Captain Pete, sponsors. That's it. Rate, Captain Pete, sponsors. Okay, so now that I've typed the names of my links, I'm just going to double click on each one or select the text, right click, go to hyperlink, and I'm going to go find Captain Pete's page. Pete.html. I select it, click OK. Sponsors, double click or select it, right click on the text, pull up the hyperlink tool, find sponsors. It's actually already open here, so it's going to be listed at the top here, the list, right? And select OK. Rate. Same process. Go through, and I contact right there, photos, like so. I'm just going to finish off with lakes. Where's lakes? Is lakes open? Right there. and about, hyperlink, and about. Okay, good deal. Now I'm going to I'm lazy, and I'm going to cheat, and you can cheat too. You can go into the menu side and do exactly what we just did, or you can go to the menu top and you can flip it over. Okay, and you probably have a little bit of a list that looks something like this, right? Just separate out that first UL tag from the bottom one, and you have all these list items right here. Just copy these, go to your menu side, flip it over to code view, and do the same thing. Oops. Except there's the menu side right there at the top. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. Right here where it says Numo vertical links, just after that comment tag, space it out. And now what you can do is take the stuff in the middle and paste over top of it. So you have an opening UL tag, a closing UL tag, and all those links are in there. I know that's a little bit more on the advanced side, but like I said, if you've worked with HTML before to any degree, that's just a quick way to copy from one to the other. We can just do a file, save all, right? We can go back to our web page here, and we can hit refresh. There is all the menu buttons already done. My logo's done. Next is the tagline. And look at that, the side menu is already done. So we've already completed a few things. We've actually created a skeleton for our site. Basically, the pages are in place now. We put the menus in place. And why I do the menus is because as you're building your site, it's a lot easier to preview a page in a browser and then just zip over to the rate page and go, oh yeah, or what did I do on the about page? That sort of a thing. So when you're previewing, you can actually flip back and forth between your pages, right? So that is how I start the build for a website. I get all the library elements done. So that would be your, what are these, the social buttons, I get those done. The side, news, current news, recent news, I get that updated. I get all the information in the footer updated. So basically all the library page bits and pieces I get done. And you can just sort of go through the library folder and take a look, and like I said, the tutorials point out whereabouts those elements are, but you can almost figure it out just by it says footer. Okay, so you open that up, and then there's footer, center, left, and right, and copyright. So the naming of these things sort of make a little bit of sense. And worst case scenario, open up the copyright, change the date here up to 16, and hit save, and go to your page and go down the bottom, and oh yeah, here's the copyright area. If I hit refresh, oh yeah, so that's where that information comes from, right? So basically, once you have all your library assets updated, right, all you have to do after that point in time is your image sliders and then the actual content within the page. And you can now actually, you have your pages, you can actually just go to a page. You can pretty much just grab all this, like watch this here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to my about page. Okay, open it up. I'll show you a little trick to copying and pasting once, of course, it opens, which is taking forever with the video running. And watch this. I put my cursor here, not on the title, leave that there for later, for changing later. But I select all this with my cursor. I scroll all the way down. Oh, that piece there. I'm going to delete that. There we go. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to grab my cursor, scroll all the way down. All right. I'm going to go to Edit, Paste Text. Okay. And I'm going to switch it to normal paragraphs with line breaks and click OK. Right, so your text is actually pasted in there now. Now you just need to space things out a little bit, right? You probably don't need About Us listed twice, so we'll get rid of that. And then what I do is I sort of go down and I take a look to where the text needs to be sort of spaced out, and then I hit, something like this to make it a little bit fancier, right? Like so. And 10, and then there's magazine here. And then we can do a little breakout like that. Now you may want to add that image in, of course you do, right? So you go back to your thing, you go copy image, you just right click on the image, copy it. Go back to your page here. Now, for aligning up an image in Expression Web, put your cursor at the very beginning of the word of the paragraph where you want the image to go, and do a right click and a paste. The picture will pop right in there, like so. Let's just double click on it, and it's selected to be right. That's good. We don't need to specify size. There we go. And save. And the image has been added. Looks a little weird right now, so let's just take a look to see how that works. There it is right there. Now the image floats over like that. Okay, we can go back and grab this other image down here. Copy this image here. Back to number 10, actually the magazine, I think. Right click and paste. And there it is right there. Right? And you can actually double click and you can give it a little bit of a margin or padding if you want to, right? Horizontal, you can go 5, right? And that'll give you a little bit of spacing away from the words. Hit save and OK. And there you go. Now you've got your picture there. You've got your picture down there. The text lines up. Now you may or may not want to have the paragraph backgrounds highlighted. A lot of people don't. So I'm just going to show you where to change that. And what I mean is behind the text, there's a bit of a lighter color, right? So I'll just give you another little bit of an advanced tour here. We're going to go into our site, styles, and here's the fonts folder right here. And I need you to go down, scroll down to line 455. I just happen to use a tool to find out where these things are located, but 455, all right, that's the box, paragraph, style. This background color right here, I just want you to change that number 5 right there on line 458. Change the number 5 to 0. Just like that, and save, and then watch what happens. It will change the entire look there by removing those paragraph backgrounds, and that's going to be a little bit tidier for you, I think. But there we go. I just copied and pasted the content from your About page into a new page, tidied it up in a matter of minutes, right? And you only have so many pages in your site, so you know it's looking pretty good so far, right? But anyways, that's how I go about it. Basically, I create my pages, I update all the different library assets, and then what I do is I go and copy the content over. So basically, create your shell, update your library assets. When I say shell, I mean create your pages, right? Update all your library assets. So the footer, the side boxes, the menu up top here, your logo and tagline, and then your image sliders. And then after that, all you have to do is copy and paste the content into the page, just like I showed you there. And keep in mind, when you're copying content into a page, right, I went to your page and I selected the text, I scrolled over it, and I went copy, like so, and I went to this About page here, right, and I'll just show you again. I went to the edit, paste text. This is very important. Paste text, normal paragraphs with line breaks. And the reason we do that is because that way it won't carry over any old formatting from your old site and potentially mess things up and make them look really weird.